The Velociraptor is a highly intelligent predator, dangerous alone and truly deadly when hunting in packs. Velociraptors can outpace and outwit almost any victim they cast their eyes upon.
There they are, the Jurassic World Evolution 2 Velociraptors in their full glory. We kind of figured this would be today's Species Field Guide since they dedicated yesterday's Tuesday trivia to the Velociraptor as well. We finally get to see a little more of pack hunting, which I am sure will put some people at ease. We're going to go through the entire Species Field Guide scene by scene and see what we can see. That's a lot of C sounds in one sentence. The first scene is a close-up of one asset with 3 others in the background. 3 of them appear to be brown, with 1 of them being green. The one in the front is doing a little bit of spoopiness. It is the month for that after all, so we love to see it. But honestly, there's not much to delve into here, except for that phonetic spelling. Velociraptor. 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 I'll stop. The next scene is my personal favorite, which is probably surprising because it's not the pack hunting scene. It looks like it's play fighting, or at least an attempt was made. The green raptor tries to pounce the yellow one, but the yellow one ain't no fool and she jumps out of the way, which causes the green one to tumble onto the ground. And oh, how the turns have tabled, because now the yellow one is going after the green one. I absolutely love this little fail. I think it's hilarious. I think it gives character. I have to think failure gives character, okay? It is the foundation of my flimsy self-esteem. But I love the animation. I love it as an interaction and as a dynamic between 2 members of the same species. We also see something interesting in the background. This is not the standard ranger post that we've seen so far, which is a mini building. This is genuinely just a post. I do hope that this functions the same way as the ranger post, giving us the option to shrink that down. Because one of the shower thoughts I had this week was, so many people were so happy that the herbivores no longer need mechanical feeders because they want to make natural exhibits and those feeders were a thorn in their eye. But essentially, while removing the feeders, Jurassic World Evolution 2 introduced the ranger post. So they replaced one unnatural, ugly necessity with another. Yet I haven't seen anybody complain about the ranger post the way I've been seeing people complaining about the feeders for pretty much 3 years. That confused me personally, because I would rather have a feeder than a camouflaged portaloo looking thing in every enclosure. I'd be very happy if this little post can replace the ranger post that we've been seeing so far. The only other thing I want to point out in this particular scene is the fencing of the exhibit. I do think that seeing this kind of fence for the raptor enclosure implies that raptors can't climb out, which is something that a lot of people have been hopeful for. Because if they could climb out, this would be very ill-advised. Like, this would work for not even 5 seconds and then they would be out of here. I can't whistle. I can't whistle? Wow, okay. Wow, the more you know. Oh, actually, I also want to say that I absolutely love this dark forest green skin. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know that I like my dinosaur skins, okay? So the one pattern thing was disappointing. Even more so because I feel like the raptors kind of got shafted again by having their one pattern be kind of a meh pattern. I mean, tiger stripes are cool, don't get me wrong, but they're very fine and there's not a lot of contrast going on as far as we've seen. They don't really stand out. If you zoom out a little bit, the skin immediately looks less interesting, but the green skin with the yellow underbelly is really, really pretty and I can see myself using that a lot in my future parks. The next 2 shots is where most of the excitement happens though. These are the pack hunting scenes. Unfortunately, the hunt is cut up. We're not seeing it from start to finish, but we're seeing it. I think that's the most important thing here. They didn't drop it. Pack hunting is still in. Frankly, and this is a hot take for y'all, I would have preferred not to see this before playing the game myself. For my channel, I dissect everything for clues and I have fun with that from a content creator perspective, sharing all of this with you guys, but from a gamer perspective, this is actually the kind of stuff that I would have loved to see for the first time in the game itself and be blown away by it. So I actually hope that we won't see a full pack hunt from start to finish as part of the promotional material. With that being said, let's analyze the hunt frame by frame, because the cat's out of the bag anyway. 4 raptors charge the Sinoceratops at once. You can see in the first shot that they are all charging from the same side, but the green raptor in front is going around so she can pounce the Sinoceratops from the other side. So they did work together to surround their prey. I'd also like to point out that it looks like the Sinoceratops is just standing up from either a resting or sleeping position. It looks a little crouched down. That is difficult to confirm, but it would be really cool. The Sinoceratops is no easy prey after all, so it would make sense for the raptors to wait to attack it until it is more defenseless while it is on the ground, so it can't charge at them in self-defense. Speaking of charging, their little run amuses me thoroughly, with their arms held forward like they're just gonna aggressively hug someone. I'm gonna hug you to death. One by one, they pounce the Sinoceratops like we're playing the owl over here, and they latch onto her. The Sinoceratops then rears up to try and shake them off their back. That is where it cuts off, leaving us to wonder who was the victor here, the predator or the prey. When they're in the air, it looks a little wooden. It might need like some refining, you know, we have to manage expectations here. I don't think it's ever gonna look like truly realistic, but I am impressed with how one jumps the head, one jumps the flank, and the other the tail, with the one in the middle actually jumping higher than the others to land on the Sinoceratops' back. It's not just one can latch onto the left side and one can latch onto the right side. It's definitely more complicated than that. Yes, there is a little bit of clipping of the upper jaw of the raptor going into the crest, but that sort of stuff is unavoidable, I think. I'm not miffed by that at all. The narration says the Velociraptor can outpace and outwit almost any prey they cast their eyes upon. Outpace possibly refers to not just their raw speed, but their stamina as well. Or maybe they are so fast that stamina doesn't even come into play. Outwit means they have to do something smart, so what we see them doing is we see them working together, surrounding the Sinoceratops, and possibly not attacking until it had lowered itself onto the ground to rest. I do hope there is a little more intelligence involved than just 4 of them attacking at once. It's gonna be great to see this play out and see if there are any variations to how it plays out. The forum article gives us the following information about how the Velociraptors will be in our parks. Velociraptors are incredibly sociable creatures and tend to prefer spending their time in packs, so you'll need to make sure they have plenty of company in their enclosures. They'll eat from standard carnivore feeders if they're hungry, but much prefer being provided with live prey and engaging in pack hunting as part of the group. Just make sure to keep them happy and incorporate some forest terrain into their enclosures. A Velociraptor escape is the last thing you want on your hands. Rate the pack hunting scene from 1 to 10 in a comment down below and share your thoughts on the Species Field Guide. I would personally give it an 8 out of 10. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this analysis, and if you want to join 64,000 people in the square, a weird but magical place we do a lot with Path, it's exciting, trust me, then subscribe to the channel. I do weekly news videos for Jurassic World Evolution 2 every Saturday, as well as videos like this to keep you up to date on the game. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game!